This is the Ryugyong Hotel, 105 floors, over 1,000 feet tall, a giant concrete rocket aimed straight at the sky. It was supposed to be the crown jewel of Pyongyang. Construction began in 1987, and nearly 40 years later, not a single paying guest has ever walked through its doors. Finishing it today would reportedly cost around 5% of North Korea's entire economy. In one building, you get the whole country. Enormous ambition, almost no resources, and a habit of creating things the rest of the world struggles to make sense of. Their government is sanctioned by nearly every major economy on the planet. It can't freely sell to the West, and it can't borrow from global banks. Its entire GDP is less than 1% of that of the United States. By the logic of modern economics, it should have collapsed a long time ago. And yet, North Korea is still standing. In some ways, it's even thriving. Last year, the regime built 10,000 new homes in the capital, more than Los Angeles or Chicago. They've also completed major construction projects that had been stalled for years, like the country's largest hospital and a greenhouse complex bigger than New York's Central Park. So how does a country this isolated manage to keep its economy alive and even show signs of growth despite being cut off from the biggest countries in the Western Hemisphere?
The famine in the 1990s starts because of mismanagement by the government, collapse of the main donor, the Soviet Union, and which follows with a dismantlement, like a temporary dismantlement of the systems within North Korea, like the public distribution collapses, the security enforcement collapses.
For a long time after its Cold War sponsors collapsed in the 1990s, the country kept its economy afloat through the grubbiest and most disreputable means. Diplomatic bags were used to transport drugs. Counterfeiters forged $100 bills and tax revenue stamps. They even traded in commemorative stamps of the 1981 wedding of the Prince of Wales and Lady Diana Spencer. Its partners in these shadowy enterprises have ranged from Japanese Yakuza gangsters to Russian drug dealers and African poachers. Those days of isolation-induced poverty are long gone. The dictatorship is now making more money than ever through the revival of diplomatic friendships that were assumed dead after the collapse of international communism more than 30 years ago. The turnaround is hard to overstate. To see how dramatic it's been, you have to look back 5 years. The country was on its knees.
At the start of the pandemic, North Korea sealed its borders.
The regime survives by repression, by complete blockade on information with the security services and field tactics.
COVID had sealed the borders, trade with China had stalled, and food shortages were biting so hard that Kim Jong-un publicly admitted his economic plans had failed.
5개년 전략 수행 기간이 지난해까지 끝났지만 내세웠던 목표는 거의 모든 부문에서 엄청나게 미달하였습니다.
And then, almost overnight, their fortunes changed. It's estimated that North Korea's economy grew by 3.7% in 2024, its fastest pace in 8 years. And even that number is already out of date. Analysts believe the country has earned roughly $10 billion from Russia between 2023 and 2025 in exchange for artillery, rockets, and the 15,000 troops sent to support the war in Ukraine. In other words, a war on the far side of the world has become a serious cash cow. The signs of change aren't limited to Pyongyang. New apartment towers have risen across provincial cities too. Kim Jong-un has thrown soldiers into these construction projects, bankrolling them with remittances from North Koreans working abroad and with donations extracted from the smugglers and traders who've grown wealthy on the black market. Satellite analysts say the transformation is visible from space. There are more oil terminals at the ports and far more cars, buses, trucks, and construction equipment moving around the country than just a few years ago. Gas stations have multiplied. Privately owned cars, including Chinese-made electric vehicles, are becoming more common. People queue outside beer halls. Families use smartphone apps to shop and order home delivery food. Exports directly support the regime, funding both the lavish lifestyles of party elites and the nuclear missile program of Kim Jong-un. Because this income is so important, his government continues to find ways to dodge sanctions and sneak into international supply chains. Take seafood. North Korea profits at virtually every stage of the process. Smaller Chinese fishing companies often buy permits from local firms to escape overfishing limits in their own territorial waters. A 2020 study by Global Fishing Watch found that roughly a third of China's distant water fleet was operating inside North Korean waters. Much of the catch taken along the coast is then shipped to Chinese hubs like Dandong for processing. There, thousands of North Korean women work long hours in freezing storage rooms, cleaning, gutting, and packaging seafood destined for export around the world.
This is a long-running program between China and North Korea. And so this is a multi-million-dollar money-making business where they send their workers abroad. And that foreign capital is a strong capital, Chinese capital, that they can use to buy weapons or oil or consumer goods.
Clams and squid have appeared in online South Korean supermarkets, and salmon fillets have even turned up on the shelves of a major American grocery chain. Such slipperiness is not unique to the fishing industry. Wigs and false eyelashes are among the few things North Korea can export legally under UN sanctions, mostly through China, and they're surprisingly lucrative.
而且的质量比国内是好得多，但是它来的是太慢了。
In 2023 alone, they brought in an estimated $167 million. While these hair products are made by a mixture of freelancing housewives, factory workers, and prison inmates, all of them are relabeled as made in China, with no way to distinguish whether the hands that made them did so voluntarily.
그렇게 다 알려져 있는데도 그냥 눈을 감아버리고 나는 모르는 일이고 하여튼 뭐 중국이고 중국에서 만든 거로 돼 있으니까 그냥 수입해서 쓰고 그 다음 단계로 우리가 뭐 시술을 하고 하겠다고 하는 거는 사실은 상당히 위험한 제재 법령, 미국 제재를 위반한 상당히 위험한 태도일 수도 있죠.
North Korean companies are now casting their net wider. The pandemic and the switch to remote work opened up a whole new range of new ways for them to earn hard currency. Instead of hiding at the bottom of an opaque supply chain, IT workers started to use fabricated identities, AI-altered photos, and accomplices in America to land remote work positions across the tech world. One particular woman was sentenced to 8.5 years in prison for helping these operatives land jobs at more than 300 companies, generating over $17 million for the regime.
A Valley woman is accused of helping the North Korean government avoid sanctions and bringing millions for the country's weapons program.
Chapman was running what they called a laptop farm, making it seem like the people she was helping were here in the U.S. In reality, they were in North Korea.
North Korea has managed something most economists would call impossible: running a 21st century economy with 20th century tools and 19th century transparency. Sanctions that were meant to choke the system have instead become creative prompts, pushing the regime into a kind of geopolitical side hustle economy where everything is opportunity, nothing is off limits, and the only real rule is don't get caught.